In the corner of our church building is an oddly shaped room. Doesn't have a maybe obvious purpose except for maybe storage. But that's not how us church creatives operate, is it? So what do? We transformed this space into the ultimate church video studio, complete with editing station, ample storage, and a set with 10 unique backdrops. We're gonna give you the full tour, and I am confident that you're gonna pick up a few ideas to apply to your own space. Okay, we're starting in here, the main event. We've got this video set here. Pastor Justin is gonna give us a tour. Believe it or not, we have an entire separate studio on this side of the room for a podcast. If you want us to do a separate video on that, let us know, thread it up in the comments, and we can prepare that as well. Today, we're talking about this set, starting with the camera. I believe this is a Blackmagic design camera?
That's right. Yeah, this is just an Ursa Mini 4K. This one's a few years old already, but we use this one for some talking heads. Again, on wheels with an iPad teleprompter, so we can kind of literally roll that in and out as we need.
Yeah, like everything I see around here, aside from maybe a few stands, is on wheels.
That's right.
With this kind of bright greenish, yellowish fluorescent tape marking where it needs to go on the ground.
Yeah, we have some consistent things that happen every week. So this camera will roll into place, this light will roll in, this light will roll in here, but it can easily quickly be unplugged and rolled out.
Got the iPad for the teleprompter.
Yep.
And there is also this small HD monitor.
Yes.
I presume that's so like if you're recording yourself, you can frame yourself up, make sure there's like headroom.
Yeah, and it kind of goes like it's on a nice clamp, so if whoever's running this station, they could turn it around, use it. But if I'm shooting myself, I can just check my composition. I'm not cutting off any headroom kind of thing.
Do you ever have that thing where you accidentally look at yourself while you're recording and then realize you shouldn't and dart your eyes back to the script? No,
Yes.
Just me.
That's just you.
This moves out of the way. There's a separate cart with another Ursa on it over here. This is the live production video announcements cart that we featured in a separate video.
Yep.
So you'll also sometimes use that in this room as well. Roll this camera spot out,
And
move
that'll
that
roll
in.
right in. Yep, exactly.
Okay, let's move to lighting. I think the thing I first noticed when I came in here was we have this key light.
Yep.
It's the Aperture 300D Mark II.
Yes.
It is not exactly like on the 45-degree angle that you would normally think with a key light. Tell me about that.
So part of the reasoning on that is a true 45, it tends to leave a lot of shadows. So if you're not really filling in some of those shadows, which we haven't always done like we are in this light, it wraps a little nicer on this big softbox around the face to just flatter, especially some of our women hosts, nicer than a male host. Like I'm okay with a dramatic kind of shadow on men more.
Well, you want the jawline.
Yeah, I want to show that jawline. But for women, it just isn't as flattering. So I find just bringing it a little closer to center, it wraps a little nicer around, especially this side of your face.
And you also have like the eggshell grid on this as well.
Yeah, so in this space, because it's small, I need to control a lot of things. So I can't have light just spilling. I need to be able to control the backdrop separate from here. And so the grid really helps me kind of lock in where is light going.
Big old softbox on this Aperture 300D.
Yep.
Little mini softbox on this 300D. I'm guessing this is the fill light?
That's the fill, yeah.
And you were saying that specifically for women, you find that fill light necessary. It's a lot more flattering.
Yeah.
The lighting is striking on a gentleman, works on a woman. The more flat, neutral light,
That's right.
preferable.
And across ethnicity too is actually really important because I'll do a lot more filling on a darker skin tone. So just to kind of bring in a bit more light to flatter our subjects. Yeah.
Understood. And then for hair light, we've got the, one of the favorites of mine, the Nanlite Pavo tube.
They're the
Love
best.
that on a hair light. Because I guess, if I'm standing here on my marks, of course, the hair light's hitting my hair, but then it's also getting like my shoulders. So there's even more separation from the background, which I'm guessing is important when you're shooting against a backdrop too.
Yes. Yeah, really helpful. And it just helps, again, separation is what we're looking for. And these lights are really nice for just dialing in all the things. Temperature, they're full RGB as well. So if you want to get more of a bluish tone, you could do that. And then we use them as well for a separate for the backdrop. And those are behind the subject so that you don't get any bleed on your subject.
Right. Okay. So we got two more Nan lights, one on each side of the backdrop. These are vertically mounted. And I'm guessing you said for different backdrops, sometimes you'll turn them a little more blue, Sometimes you'll turn them a little warmer depending on the backdrop that you have.
That's right. So this one will go a bit cooler, sometimes on this, kind of more of a cool vibe, but then on a beige, I'll pull it down to closer to maybe like 4,500 Kelvin.
Okay, tell me about the 4 NAND lights that you smuggle over here. It sounds like you have a NAND light, yeah, well, let's call it that, sure. 4 different here that are just plugged in at all times. That is the one thing about the NAND light that's frustrating, is that like it has a battery, so you can run it without a plug, but the battery lasts about 3 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe 45. But yeah, exactly. So we leave them here, but we do use them on multiple shoots, but I just tried to clean it up and keep them somewhere, but they're mounted on the wall, and then we can pop them off anytime and take them out on location.
Final lights that we want to cover in this room are these lights that I don't recognize, which makes me think that they're maybe a bit older. They are working on the backdrop. Sorry, that wasn't a joke about you, but please tell me about these lights.
Yes, all right. Well, these lights are actually old lights. When we moved into this building, we upgraded all of our front lights in the auditorium to LED. So these are all the old Licos that are old incandescent ETC source 4.
Oh, so does it get like really hot?
They get real hot, yeah.
That's why they're so high up, to stay far away from the presenters.
Yep, exactly. So we do just some, actually funny enough, these two together kind of create what we call cloud blue, which is a combination of a warm kind of gel and a cool one. So we gel that one down a bit, but combined, you get sort of this interesting kind of blend. So we'll do some stuff like that. This one's another Lico. We run just a gobo in, and it kind of just gives some different, textures to the background. So that's just running on a little mini light board here and an old DMX box.
Right, so instead of just the plain paper backdrops, now you're adding these scratches, these gobos to add more dimension, visual interest.
Yeah. Again, it's kind of trending right now, some of that idea. So just kind of a cool way to make it sort of unique and fresh, which I like that.
Creatives don't really have the best reputation for organization. I would say, though, that the smaller your studio is, the more important that organization and storage becomes. I think it's so obvious, the thoughtfulness that's gone into that element of this room. I mean, my eye is drawn maybe first to this precious little C-stand stand over here. Is that a recent addition, or?
Yeah, we actually, funny enough, we just added that last week because we were running into C-stands. They're just all over the place. So they were taking up all our space. So I found this Pro-Aim, I think it's called a Pro-Aim C-stand holder, and it has a couple parts and a little bungee that just keeps up to 6 stands on it. So just keeps them off the ground, on the wall. Real easy.
And then what about the acoustic treatment? Is this $10,000 worth of baffles that you have here, or?
Well, again, this is something we had from a campus that we had planted, and we shifted locations, and we ended up keeping these. Specifically, I kept them in a room because I knew I'd need them, and
so they were just in storage for a long time, and then repurposed.
Right. So when we moved in here, I just had a lot of audio bouncing, so we were able to kind of put them all around to just help control the audio in here.
Because the ceilings are very high.
Yeah.
Okay, perhaps more secrets for you to share with us. I noticed that there was a jib of some kind that you purposefully hid behind this, negative fill, but we found it, and I'm guessing that this is used for video announcements. There's a person here, and you just kind of like sweep across. Is that the idea, or?
Yeah, exactly. No, not at all. We use this for multiple events, and we don't have a good place for it right now, so it's staying in here. But it has a little Ronin that goes on the end of it, and again on wheels, but it's used for baptism and all kinds of things. But it's an old Kessler jib, pocket jib that we had, and we use it for still lots of different things, mostly live production. But right now it's just, its home is right here. So until I find a better place, this is where it will reside.
Outstanding. Okay, and then you have your Husky toolbox here.
Yes, this is the best thing I love. The best thing I love. It's just all things that we need, whether it's clamps, plates, connectors for stuff that we're rigging up. Anyways, all the little stuff, which is great. And it's everything from your tools, Allen keys, to, lenses here in the bottom.
Oh, yeah.
Some camera stuff that we need for, just different events.
And then what about this wall here of storage, but also looks like you got all the charging bays here?
Yeah. Well, and again, the same thing was here. We have these tall ceilings, and everything kept getting on the floor or on shelves. So I said, can we get it off that and onto the wall? So this was just a way of kind of leveraging our space, batteries, cables, storing things and a bit of a waiting space. So
Okay, more storage here, Apple boxes, but. One of the first things I saw when I came in here was, oh, this is clearly obstructing this door. So I feel like I want to know what's behind the mystery door. This is a dimension into like the secret underground of the church, right? Where all the real stuff happens, or what?
you want to see it?
I would like so, yeah,
All right.
that's okay.
Let's go take a look.
What's happening?
All right, so in here is a room that wasn't supposed to be here, but when they built the building, they needed a place for air conditioning to come into the building. So
that's why this room is shaped the way it is?
Yeah.
Oh.
So they took part of our studio and brought in this AC unit.
Oh.
So I was very happy about that. But what I leveraged in here was we still needed a place to store tons of stuff. So everything in here goes our, cases to stands to black backdrops that are for pipe and drape to, whatever, all the things that we need to kind of store, old gear and stuff like that. So.
Well, you talked about like the sound acoustic treatment and things from like previous projects that eventually don't have a use.
Yes.
And then years later, you're like, oh, do we still have that thing?
Yeah.
Famously, in my office, we're like, where's that thing? Oh, Brady got rid of it. Like I never keep stuff the way that I should. So who knows, like the, camera packs and all the old stuff in here that might be, monopods. Maybe monopods come back.
They're going to come back.
And
we have them when we need them.
ready to go.
Yeah, but like all of our podcast set comes out, recorders and different things when we need it so it's just in here with a home. I think that's the key. Everything has a home. So that's the idea in this room.
I think miraculously I counted like 10 different backgrounds available in this singular set, which is, it's...
I didn't even know we had that many.
It's pretty special. The base is like this wood panel.
Yeah, we made this little French cleat and added this thing that lets us pop this on, but it's all just stick on like wood panels that just get stuck on there, and then it just creates kind of a texture neutral sort of look we use for teaching and different things.
Yes, I know the wood panels that stick because in a previous studio I may or may not have stuck them directly against the drywall. I didn't know about these Van Cleats. What was it?
Just a French cleat that just.
Right, yes, of course. Now, beyond the wood, there are all these paper backdrops. Are these the Savage paper backdrops?
Yeah, they're all the same. Savage paper. We run a black, a beige, and a blue in here typically. But then over here, there's a whole bunch of
look at that.
things that we can cut to for just different, whether it's blue, pink, and we've used these all for different sets. And then we run a couple of these ones that are unique, which are more of a painted canvas.
Oh.
And those ones we just run on C-stands. So what's cool is in front of this, we'll actually run other backdrops as well.
Right, there's enough space here that you could add an additional...
Couple C-stands, and we have another, backdrop, which is great.
And when we're combining these different backdrops with the scratch lights and the gobos and the different texture, you're not just getting like blue or beige or black.
Yeah. And then some you can backlight, and you can also take the light off. Some you could actually hit with more of a color, so that's more of a vibe on that color. You can run an effect even if you want. So there's like a lot of creativity in a small space, which I do like that. It's kind of a challenge.
And there's no green screen here, but my understanding is that the black paper backdrop, you will, I don't know if is it still chroma if you like use that to key? Is it like
I don't know what the
maybe it's a luminance key, I think it might be called.
Yeah.
But you'll basically use this black backdrop and then key it out to add like video motion backgrounds. I've always liked black.
I love it.
Better than the green chroma key.
It looks a little less fake and like, I don't know, like it feels like less kind of studio production world and more like earthy, which I think we have some videos which we'll include, but yeah.
If you want a tutorial on how to key out on a black screen versus a green screen, again, thread that up and we can dedicate a video to that as well. Of all the backdrops, which one's your favorite?
I like the beige one, which is because we're adding some cool textures on it, but I probably like the black one the most.
Oh yeah.
Because we could add some cool, it's like unlimited potential of, LED backdrop stuff you can overlay. That looks pretty cool. So I like those ones.
We'll have every piece of gear that we highlighted in this video linked in the description, so you can track it down there simply. And if you have questions about anything in the studio, let us know. We transformed this space into the ultimate church video studio.
Well, we have a beige, and then we have a...
Why is it BOGO?
That's what we call it.
Yeah, for fun. Okay, cool. I like that.
BOGO. Yeah, we'll
Buy
throw that
one,
on
get
there,
one
but-
beige. Ew, gross. That looked terrible. God.
Okay, this is beyond any storage.
Ample storage and a set.
That's not how us church creatives operate. So here's what we did.
You mean to massage your knee?
Yeah, I really do.
Lord, we just pray for this knee right now. Lord, would you just restore all areas that need, bring them back into position?
I'm receiving it. Okay. We're gonna give you the full tour, and I'm confident.
Oh, I'm finding I'm kind of bored, actually. Just like a fatty, chunky light.
Little thicky
Yeah, all the clamps. I love having all the clamps.
is to apply to your own space. Let me take it again.